Mount St. Helens erupts, at least 8 dead, as peak erupts. Worst blast yet. By Wallace Turner, May 18, 1980. Vancouver, Washington. Mount St. Helens exploded at 8:39 a.m. today, with a thud felt 100 miles away, and with a drifting column of steam and pumice that turned day into night. At least 8 people lost their lives fleeing floodwaters, fires, and mudslides that hit the Toutle River Valley shortly after the volcano's eruption. David Hubert, a spokesman for the Washington Department of Emergency Services, said that police officers working from helicopters had found some of the dead. "We have many overturned vehicles in the Toutle River Valley," he said, "and our communication with the helicopters is so fragile that all I can tell you is that we have found 5 bodies. 2 of them, found at a Weyerhaeuser Company logging camp near the mountain, were flown to Kelso, Washington, by a helicopter of the Air Force Reserve. A helicopter pilot saw 3 persons in a pickup truck down in floodwaters near the town of Toutle. It was not known where officials had found the 8th body. Hot ash flowed down the peak. Mud and logs flowed down the river. I could hear it crackling from my house," Tom Huntington said. At 9:30 a.m., he said, the river was wall-to-wall logs. The earlier ash and steam eruptions this year were dwarfed today, but it is not clear whether lava was being expelled. In the absence of a lava eruption, the major worries were drifting ash, which is hazardous to crops, water supplies, and health, forest fires, and flash floods resulting from melting glaciers. Minutes before the top of the 9,677-foot peak exploded with a shower of ash, 2 earthquakes registering about 5.0 on the Richter scale were recorded. Their impact was felt as far away as Port Angeles, at the entrance to Puget Sound. Within hours after the pillar of ash rose to a height measured by radar at 60,000 feet, wind had pushed it 160 miles east to Walla Walla, Washington, where automatic equipment turned on the streetlights as if dusk had come. Elsewhere in Washington, the low visibility resulting from the snowstorm of gritty ash may have led to the death of a crop-dusting plane's pilot. His plane crashed into a power line near Tenaway, according to Kittitas County Sheriff Bob Barrett. The eruption came from the old summit crater and a vent on the north side of the peak. It made a roar, like a truck, according to Greg Meyer, who was fishing at Mosquito Lakes about 40 miles east of Mount St. Helens. The black cloud, carried by the high-level winds that blow from west to east at this time of year, was carried over the lake with pumice falling from it, he said. His visibility was cut to between 6 and 10 feet. Mr. Meyer abandoned his fishing equipment and canoe. Almost all residents of the sparsely settled area high on the mountain have been evacuated in recent weeks. About 2,000 others from lower areas, such as the Toutle region, were leaving today. Some other people were unaccounted for. One of these is Harry Truman, 84 years old, who has steadfastly refused to leave the collection of cabins that he rents to fishermen at Spirit Lake, Washington, in the most dangerous area. The dense cloud of dust, ash, and steam prevented any surface examination of the northeast shoulder, where a bulge has grown over the last several weeks at a rate that caused scientists to believe that a lava eruption was possible. Scientists who have monitored steam from vents on the peak found no increase in sulfur dioxide, one measure of buildup that would lead to lava eruption. They said today that they could not confirm that any lava had appeared.